Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the episode each week where one of us tackles today's Times crossword and tries to explain our thoughts such as they are, with a view to helping you with your own cryptic crossword solving. And I am delighted to tell you that today's puzzle is by John Guiver, who is just the most extraordinary setter. The snitch is very high again. It's not as high as last week. So the last couple of weeks, actually, it's been over 200, with 100 being this base mark average times crossword difficulty. Let's have a quick look at the stats, though. So the first couple there, there may be more than two typists. I'm not sure. The first time I definitely believe there is Verlaine. 11 minutes 52, and that's for a former Times crossword champion. So Matthew Marcus is Verlaine, and he won it just 2 years ago. Jason James is phenomenal, 13 minutes 26. So again, it's definitely difficult, this. Let's just take an excursion. Yeah, so there's only been 77 entries. So it is very similar, I think, to the last couple of weeks, in terms of difficulty. I'm not very surprised about that, but I'm looking forward, with only a modest amount of trepidation, to doing battle with John's puzzle. Anyway, we'll get into that in a moment or two's time. I don't have any birthdays to do today. There's a couple of things I wanted to mention. Over on Patreon, we've got Mark's Solve of the Times Club monthly special. So if you do enjoy rock hard cryptic crosswords, have a look at that. Also, Mark's recorded a solve of a recent listener, and that's going to be going up on Patreon soon, as well. So it's a couple of bucks a month to join us over there. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. I probably won't remember, but I will try to remember. The other thing I'm going to just mention is yesterday's Times Quick Cryptic crossword, which was by Liari. Some of you may know Liari's. I think Liari sets in the Independent, and I think it was Liari's debut in the Times, or certainly in the Quick Cryptic for the Times yesterday. I got a couple of emails about this saying maybe I could do this. I could do Liari's puzzle as the sort of speed run at the end of the video. I couldn't do it because by the time I got those emails, I'd already done it. You can see I've done it here. But I met Liari. Actually, Mark and I both met Liari at the Times Crossword Championship. I think it was 2024. I think I'm right. If I'm right, then it's Becky, isn't it, from Ohio? I might be wrong. But I thought what we might do at the very start is just have a quick look at this puzzle. And I'll just reflect on it momentarily. I won't spend long because obviously I've done it before, so it's a little bit. Okay, yeah, no, this was definitely, I felt, quite challenging. I remember struggling with composer as I was going through it. Let's just have a look. So APUS, is that Apus? Is that how I meant to say your pseudonym here, Liari? I'm not sure. But I'm just flicking through the clues. Spooner's advice for Doc is so long. So that's the answer to that one is Toodle Pip. And of course, if you spoonerize something, you sort of switch the initial syllables around. So Poodle Tip would be, if you were to give advice to a dog, you might give the poodle a tip. So that's very nice. Let me have a look and see if I can see anything else. Aromatic herb and orange cooked with duck is very nice. Very nice. Orange cooked being an anagram, duck being an O, that gives oregano. Yeah, it's just a lovely puzzle. I mean, I would expect nothing less. Anyway, I'm sorry. If I'd got the messages, and I did get two actually, then I would have switched it round. But anyway, let's kick in. Hopefully, I forgot my dictionary. Oh, let me just check. Yeah, that's working, isn't it? I think you can see that. So anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get cracking on today's Times by John Guiver. Hopefully, the internet will work. Here we go. Right, one across, 7 letters. Report on small issue of litter engulfing green. Report on small issue of litter engulfing green. Again, John has this just extraordinary ability to conjure up images because the clues read in a redolent way. So you can imagine the litter all over the green, and somebody's drafted a report about it. It's not going to be anything like that. So, I mean, if you are completely new to cryptic crosswords, here's the most important thing I can tell you. Every single one of these clues contains a straight definition of the answer to be entered. And that's almost always at the start or the end of the clue. It doesn't have to be the first word. It could be the first 2 words or the first 3 words. But it's very, very often either at the start or the end of the clue. The rest of the clue is a recipe where John has to tell us exactly how to construct the answer. So he might tell us to put a word into another word, or he might tell us to reverse a word, or he might tell us to anagram some letters. The instructions have to be absolutely precise, but they can be worded in such a way that you don't realise that they're a recipe. So if we look at this clue, I'm not sure what's going on, but the phrase engulfing green, that suggests to me that part of the clue might be part of the recipe, because if a word engulfs another, it would surround it. Now, can we think of any short synonyms for green? I can think of 2. Vert, I think, might be. I mean, I know that's French for green. For some reason, I think it might be in the English dictionary as well. The other one that I'm more minded to, though, is eco. If something is eco-friendly, it's become known as green, hasn't it? So I quite like the thought, at least, that this might have ECO in it. But that means, taking my own advice, that the other side of the clue is the definition. So report, or report on. Small issue of litter, runt. Recount. That's right. I'm so dense. I literally had to do it, and then recount is the answer. And so why? The small issue of the litter, the smallest, pup, for example, would be known as the runt of the litter. So runt goes around eco. We get recount. If you recount something, you report on it. So this is a good start because we get 4 starting letters from this. So 1 down, 6 letters beginning with R. Sanction absent leader of government, please. Or to read it in the way that, sanction absent leader of government, please. But obviously the way I read the clue, what I'm actually trying to do is enable my brain to split it into 2 parts. The part that's the definition and the part that's the recipe. I don't know what this is. Sanction. Sanction's one of those strange words. If you sanction somebody, you can be punishing them. But if you sanction something, you can allow it. So it feels like, if I could think of a 7-letter word for sanction, and then I was to absent from that word the leader of government. Now, the leading letter of the word government is G. No, I'm wrong, aren't I? I've got this now, but it's totally the opposite. Okay. So this is it's a great example of how these clues are not easy to read sometimes. Let's not do what I've just said. Let's do the opposite. Let's take the word sanction and decide that is the definition. Now, if you sanction something, if you approve it, especially a treaty, you would ratify it. Now, why is that the answer? I'm sure most of you have already got this, but the reason is actually what we had to do is to think of a 7-letter word which means please, which is gratify. Now, if we take the word gratify and we absent the leader of government, then we get ratify. So hopefully you can see how you could read that. You can read the recipe either way round. This clue could have worked and would have been absolutely grammatically correct if it had worked the other way round. So if it had been a 6-letter word, which means please, and it had been a 7-letter word for sanction that had lost its G. But just if we cut it after the word sanction and then absent leader of government, so without the G, think of a word that means please, it works the same. It's fine. So anyway, this is a brilliant start now, because now if I could get, I'm going to go for 2 down, but this might be a foolish thing to do. 9 letters beginning with C. Brief doubt quelled by racket gold winner. Brief doubt quelled by racket gold winner. Racket gold winner. Brief doubt quelled by racket gold winner. I don't know what this is, but what I quite want it to be is a word that begins with con and ends in or and means winner. Conqueror? Query. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so hopefully, if you are new to crosswords, you're saying, what on earth did he just do? I did nothing clever, but I will explain what I did. I read the clue and didn't understand it. So take that as read. It's very rare, especially with difficult puzzles, that you read the clue and just go, oh, it's that. So you read the clue, you don't understand it, but you've got to find something to get your teeth into. So that the only thing in part of this clue that felt attackable to me were the words racket and gold. Now, can I think of any short synonyms for racket? The first one I thought of was din. If you make a din, you make a racket. So I had din in my mind. Gold. We've talked about this before on the channel. There are 2 things that you have to think about if you see gold. If you see any chemical element, you have to think about the periodic table. Now, gold can be AU, which is its abbreviation in the periodic table. However, and this is the one that's mean, it's also OR, not from the periodic table, but from heraldry. But I know it's mad, but it is from heraldry. It is a tincture. So if I go to the dictionary and type OR in, you will see, hopefully, somewhere in here, yeah, OR, heraldry, the tincture gold. And crossword constructors love it for that reason. So, thinking about din and OR or AU is where I was going. Brief doubt. What does that mean? Well, in my brain, if a word is treated in a brief way, it is shortened. Now, in cryptic crossword land, if something is shortened, for some reason, it is almost always shortened by 1 letter. So if anything is described as being in brief, or in this clue it's brief, or in short, or shortened, or cut, it's not going to mean take a 7-letter word and cut the last 4 letters off. It doesn't work like that. It's going to mean take a 7-letter word and cut the very last letter off. So brief doubt means we're looking for a word that means doubt, and then we're taking 1 letter off, and that's quelled by. Now, if something's quelled by something, it's sort of calmed down, it's cosseted, it's embraced, if you like, or stifled by it. So quelled is being used as a container indicator. So we need to put our word for racket and gold around the outside of a brief word, cut short word, for doubt. And that made me think, okay, can I think of any words that mean racket that don't begin with D, because we've got this C in? And I thought, well, a racket is a con. And now we're onto the right lines, because I was able to do that. I now suspect I still don't know, but I suspect I'm trying to come up with a word that means the winner. And what about a conqueror? And that gives me query as a doubt. A doubt is a query, isn't it? If you have a doubt over something, you have a query over it. So conqueror for winner. Now, we also get some extra information from this answer, because there, at 2 down, is a Q. And whenever I see a Q early on in a puzzle, I am instantly thinking, has the constructor tried to make this grid into a pangram? I.e., has John managed to construct a puzzle that uses all 26 letters of the alphabet? So I'm going to be on the lookout now for Z's and J's. Let's go for 9 across, which is 5-4, beginning with T. Smitten orc left exposed in shower of pitch. That's brilliant. That conjures up Lord of the Rings-esque. Battle for Helm's Deep, isn't it? The orc sort of looking up and being showered with pitch. Smitten orc left exposed in shower of pitch. I mean, the brilliancy about this is if I had to, I would say it might mean smitten. Smitten. If you're smitten with something, you love it, don't you? You're smitten orc left exposed. I mean, shower of pitch could be an anagram indicator. If the letters of pitch are sort of showering down, are they sort of... Or shower of pitch. Shower is one of those words that is a bit like flower. You've got to be very careful with flower in cryptic crosswords, because of course there's the possibility that the word flower could be pronounced flower. So if you see flower in a cryptic crossword, it's very often defining a river, something that flows. Shower of pitch. Shower of pitch is a tenor clef. Why? Is it an anagram of orc left or something? Is it tenor clef? Smitten. Oh, if you smite something, do you sort of knock it down? Hang on, something like that, isn't it? So, orc left. Orc left and EN. No. Okay, it's not that. This is where it's hard to do these videos sometimes, because you just realise you've made an absolute fool of yourself in front of quite a lot of people. Okay, this is a hidden. What's a hidden? There's normally 1 or 2 of these in every Times crossword, but it's where the constructor has actually hidden the answer, literally spelt it out in the clue. But the very brilliant constructors can make it hard to spot that, and I didn't spot it. I mean, how clever is that? Because, okay, I mean, I can see there's something odd about the letters, but the image it conjures up is really brilliant. So, so if we look inside the phrase "smitten orc left," it's literally spelt out TENORCLEF, and the constructor can't just hide stuff in the clue and not tell you that they've hidden it in the clue. They have to tell you the way to find the answer to this is to look inside the letters. So if you expose something, you remove its coat, don't you? So the way we have to imagine it is that there is a string of letters, SMITTENORCLEFT, and to expose that, we're going to remove its skin, if you like. So within that thing, if we remove the coat from it, we can see inside it, it has tenor clef, if we put the space in the correct place. So that's a very clever clue. Made me look like a numpty. Never mind. 11 across, 5 letters, beginning with F. Cast, divide, revolutionary new parts. Cast, divide. Again, it's got a theatre connotation, hasn't it? Where the cast sort of, oh, you do that role, I'll do that role, there we go. But it's not going to be like that. Is it found? If you cast iron, you found it, don't you? Divide, cast, divide, revolutionary. I don't know. I want it to be found for some reason. Is that wrong? Might be wrong, actually. Cast, divide, revolutionary. Sorry, I don't understand. I don't understand what this is. That's making me feel very dumb as well. I mean, okay, the only bit of this clue I think I understand is the phrase new parts. Because, and I say this every week, some words that you're going to see in these clues have abbreviations. So in this clue, the word new could be indicating the letter N. Now, you can't just abbreviate any word in these clues to its initial. It has to be supported by the dictionary. But if we were to go to N in the dictionary, literally look up, there we go, new. It's probably there as a small as well, there. So I think the way we're meant to read this is it ha? No, it's not. Oh no, I've got it now. Right. So new parts, I think, is saying, think of, there's going to be a word, it's going to be 4 letters, and then N for new is going to part those 4 letters, so it's going to go inside. Now, we can't put the N here because FNU is not going to give us a word, so probably this is a 5-letter word with an N here. And I thought it might be found. I've now understood how it works. Divide revolutionary is saying, think of a 4-letter word for divide, and if it's revolutionary, it goes backwards. It revolves. Now, I've figured out what that is now. A divide is a gulf. So if we reverse gulf around N, we get flung, and if something is cast, it is flung. So I've finally got that one. Now, that looks like it's going to be upright, doesn't it? Let's just see if we can get an easy win. 3 down, 7 letters. Just. If something's just, is it upright? It might be. Winning. Well, okay, if you're winning in a game, you're up in it. So I really like it starting with up. Tackle. Tackle is rig, isn't it? Tackle is in kit. That's I think the sense in which that's meant. Before start of half. Well, the start of the word half is H, and T is a valid abbreviation for time, I think from Newton's equations, V equals U plus AT, etc. But it certainly is a valid abbreviation. Let me find it. It is. No, there we go. Time. There we go. Time. So hopefully, let me just check the Yeah, that's all working. You can see that, can't you, on this new format. I did look at all the comments, by the way. When I asked for comments about who likes the new... There are people who don't like the new format. On balance, I think people did. So I've stuck with it. It's a lot easier for me to work with. I'm sorry if it annoys you. It's not that I ignored your comments. I did look at them. I just took the majority, frankly. Now, 4 down, 9 letters, beginning with T. Telegraph would fit. Zoom call, having to express extremes of noise. Having to suppress, sorry. Again, a very modern reference. Zoom call. Having to suppress... Well... I wanted it to be telephone, but I don't think it is that. I think it's going to be a word for Zoom, which might, and not in the sense of the sort of program that you make calls over the internet. I think Zoom as in telephoto. I like telephoto because that's got element. Right. Okay. Let's think about this phrase: suppress extremes of noise. If we're trying to read that as part of a recipe, what might it mean? What's the extremes of noise? That is saying, take the word noise and take its extreme letters, which is its start letter and its last letter, N and E. And we're suppressing N and E. Now, suppress is an awkward word because it could mean remove them, or it could mean sort of stifle them, i.e. surround them. But we're doing something in this clue with N and E. Now, I thought initially when I read the clue, maybe it was telephone, because maybe a call was to telephone. I've got T and L already in the grid, but it's nearly that. It is telephoto. A type of zoom is a telephoto lens. And if you telephone to somebody, call having to. Call is telephone, having to, so that's the TO at the end. So we've got telephone to, suppressing, i.e. removing the N and the E, the extreme letters of noise, and that gives us telephoto. It's just genius setting. It really is. I'm going to go for 5 down in the hope it helps me with 12 across. So 2, 3, flourish of whirling cloth skirts. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I think it means flourish. Maybe go far? That's right. Yeah, go far. If somebody goes far, they flourish, they do well. Now, okay, I've said it's that. Have a look at the clue. Especially if you're new to these puzzles and you're like, whoa, where's he got that from? Read it and reread it until you understand how that's possible, how it's possible to read the rest of the clue as a recipe. Because it's brilliantly written. So let me explain. Of is literally the word of in this OF. You can see it written there. Then whirling cloth. If a word whirls, it reverses in cryptic crossword land. So we need a 3-letter word for a cloth. That's going to reverse, and then it's going to skirt, so it's going to surround. So this skirt is not a noun here. It's indicating the position of the word rag, R-A-G, which is the cloth, which has whirled and then skirted the word of. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, it's just quite... I think it's utterly remarkable what these best constructors can do with language now. Because I don't think 30 years ago people were writing clues like this. I just don't. Hopefully that will encourage people like Peter Biddlecombe to write in and tell me, oh no they were, but I don't think they were. I don't remember clues like this, which a 10 a penny in a John Guiver crossword. I just think clue writing at the highest level now is just at an extraordinary level. Let's have a look at 5 across. 7 letters, beginning with G. Sweet and sour chops left by sink. Sweet and sour chops. Again, I can't get away from the images. Sweet and sour chops left by sink. That's just the most extraordinary clue. I mean, I don't know. I think it might be the name of a sweet, like a pudding, or a gumdrop. Gumdrop's good. It's got a drop. Drop means sink, doesn't it? Gum, sour chops there. Glum. Okay, I mean, that just proves my point, frankly. It just proves my point. My M repeats at the moment. When I press it, it always seems to appear twice. It is gumdrop. And that's quite an interesting clue, in the sense that most of the clues so far, like especially this one, I had to get by looking at the recipe part of the clue and then eventually backing into what the answer might be. This one I did the other way. I suspected it might be a 7-letter word for a sweet. I thought of a word and then I backed that into the recipe. So gumdrop is the answer. Again, have a look at it. See if you can work out how is it remotely possible that and sour chops left by sink is a recipe for gumdrop, and yet it is. So the and here is doing a duty of a sort of equal sign, and it's perfect for the phrase sweet and sour, isn't it? So we're looking. So this clue is defining the word sweet, but we can also define the word sweet using this recipe, which is what and is doing. Sour, if you're sour, you're glum. We're going to chop from the word sour. L, which is a valid abbreviation for left, that gives us gum, and we're going to put that gum by a word that means sink, drop, gumdrop. Quite straightforward. Joke. I mean, if you are new to these puzzles and you're looking at this and thinking, there is no way I will ever be able to do this, you will. You'll be surprised. It's like learning a language. And what you're looking at here is one of the very best constructors of puzzles that's ever lived, writing these clues. So they are hard. They're brutally hard. But they're all fair and they're magnificent. And everything you learn from this, you'll be able to take away and apply to the easier cryptic crosswords. And there'll be so much to gather from this sort of puzzle, honestly. So 6 down, 7 letters. Right, let's stop after old lady. Old lady, if we see that in cryptic crosswords, it's almost always your mother, which is a sort of euphemism, my old lady. Your old lady can also be your wife, but old lady is very often mother, and mother is very often shortened to ma. So I would be very surprised if this clue, if old lady isn't part of the recipe here, which means the other side of the clue is going to be the definition. So, old lady bearing sound, okay, of fraternity. Okay, I'm not sure now. Bearing is a very awkward word, because in a down clue, if a word bears another one, it's like Atlas supporting the weight of it. So it might be at the bottom of the clue, but then that would indicate MA was at the bottom, which I don't like, given I've got an M at the top. A bearing can also be, if you give somebody a bearing, it could be a compass direction. So it could be north, south, east, or west. N, S, E, W. Sound Sound is awkward because if something's sound, it might be sane. But also, sound of fraternity could be indicating a homophone. I don't think it is here, but old lady. Old lady. Bearing sound of fraternity. I'm sorry, I don't have a clue what that's talking about. I'm going to go on. 7 letters. No, 7 down, 5 letters. Red Mexican river bird passing over tip of Yucatan. Red Mexican. What? Red. Is this ruddy? I'm trying to think of synonyms for the word red. Mexican river bird. I really, really hope I don't have to know the names of any Mexican rivers, because the amount of Mexican rivers I know the name of is exactly equal to 0. Okay, let's have a look at 8 down. 5, 3. Oh, well, glasses I see there. I do know that this pince nez there, that's glasses, isn't it? That's got a Z in it for our pangram as well. So that could be correct. Church and religion brought up after raising of shot glasses. Okay, it is that. It's pince nez. I haven't worked out all of it yet, but I can see that if you have a shot of whiskey, you might have a nip of whiskey. So nip there at the start has been raised after raising of shot. So after the raising of the word nip. Church of England, CE. If you see church in a cryptic crossword, it's always going to be either CE for Church of England or CH, which is an abbreviation that's valid from Ordnance Survey maps. Let's just have a look at that. Church. Doesn't say where it's from, but I think it's from Ordnance Survey. And religion brought up. Well, Zen is a part of the Buddhist religion, isn't it? So Zen has been brought up at the end, reversed at the end of all the rest of it. And we get pince nez. Let's actually have a look at the etymology for that. Must be French, I presume. Pinch nose. Oh, I swear that's lovely, isn't it? A pair of eyes glasses with outside pieces. Those ones that just sit on the end of your nose. So let's go for 12 across. 9 letters, beginning with P. Family let out a boy serving sandwiches. Family let out a boy. Does that mean they sort of leased him out? Or does that mean they let him out of the cupboard or something? I don't know. Family let out a boy serving sandwiches. I mean, sandwiches is such a recipe word, because if a word sandwiches another one, it surrounds it, doesn't it? So I think this is going to be a word for family, or family let. Family. Let out. A boy serving. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. I'm quite interested. Yeah. I mean, I'm not an interesting guy, but I do find the A in this clue interesting. Because why is it there? Now, something I said at the start when I talked about the structure of a clue. So there's a definition and then there's wordplay or recipe. And I said that the recipe has to be absolutely precise. It does. So you can't just throw in extra A's and Th's into clues. they have to be there for a reason. Now, one reason to include the letter A in the recipe part of the clue might be because it's necessary for it to be included in an anagram. However, this doesn't look like an anagram. There's no P's in the clue. So why is it there? Now, there is a short synonym for the word A, and that's the word per, P-E-R, per capita, means each person, doesn't it? A person. So I quite like that. For this A. Let out. Is that an anagram of let? And then boy serving. If that was true, I need to think of a 3-letter synonym for a boy serving. Now, if it was man serving, I would be very confident it was a GI. Because somebody who serves in the armed forces, GI is a great synonym, as in an American soldier. But I don't think boy serving. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't understand that one at all. And if it was a word for family... Ooh, so if I looked at that one... I haven't looked at this one. Let's have a look at this one. 10 across, 5 letters. Cut small outgrowth of nuts. Cut. Small can be S. Now, this is one of these incredibly rare exceptions where you may, if you're new to the puzzles and you think, could small be S, you may go to your dictionary, you may look up S, and you won't find small listed. And you may then say, that's totally unfair. I've seen S be an abbreviation for small in life. You know, if you saw S on a t-shirt or on an item of clothing, you'd know it meant small size. And therefore, this is one of the exceptions to the rule. It isn't supported by the dictionary. My dictionary is old and it still isn't supported in the new dictionary, but it is accepted by the Times. So small, large, S for small, L for large. That is valid. So could this be S here? And then I'm wondering about horn, an outgrowth of nuts. Is there some weird definition of horn can a nut have a horn? I don't know, but that would allow me to create shorn. And if something is cut, it's shorn, isn't it? The difficulty there is that there are probably other 5-letter synonyms for cut. Although I can't think of any at the moment, but there probably are. Okay, let's imagine the S was correct and have a quick look at 6 down again. So, old lady, bearing sound. Oh, it's not Masons or something, is it? The Masons are probably a fraternity. Masonry, Mary? Masonic? Masonic, as in the lodge. Old lady. How does it work, though? Sound. Of fraternity must be the definition, i.e. of a fraternity. Masonic. That is perfect. Old lady. Is the old lady bearing the sound here? Or is the old lady being borne by the sound? So sound must be sonic. Or maybe bearing sound is defining the word sonic. That's probably how it works. So old lady is ma, and then bearing sound is sort of suggesting it's an adjective. Bearing sound. If something bears sound, is it sonic? I think that's probably how it's. So I think bearing there is being used to totally misdirect. I think bearing sound is probably defining the word sonic. That would be my guess. Now, that means Sean is more possible. Let's have a look at this one again. If this was an O, red Mexican river bird. Is the Rio a Mexican river? Rio Grande? No, I don't know. Bird passing over tip of Yucatan. I'm just wondering if it could begin like that. I think it's going to be a word that means red. I don't know what that is. I don't think. Oh, I'm not sure then. Bird passing over to Mexican river bird? I don't know. This is bad as well because actually these three all cross each other and I can't get any more letters. Family let out. A boy serving sandwiches. I don't know. Pear. Wow, I don't know what this word is, this 12 crossword. Let out a boy serving sandwiches. I can appreciate it's a brilliantly worded clue, I just can't do it. Right, let's move on. 13 across. No, oh, it is 13 across, and it's 13 letters. Beginning with R. Mobile reception bar on TV rose for biographical show. Mobile reception bar on TV roses. It's brilliant again. Mobile reception bar. That feels like it might be an anagram of reception bar, doesn't it? That's 12 letters. On TV. Oh, retrospective. I bet it's that. Retro. I don't know why it's retrospective, but I think it might be that. I don't quite understand how I get to that, but I'm wondering if mobile is saying anagram something, if letters are treated in a mobile way, they'd move around, wouldn't they? Then the word reception, bar, so not except for the word on. Now, if you can see in the word reception, there is the word on at the end of it. So maybe it's RECEPTI. Yeah, and then TV rose, that would give us that. Yeah, okay, so reception bar the word on is 7 letters, plus TV rose, that gives us another 6 letters, that's 13 letters. Those letters are treated in a mobile way, and I think probably the anagram fodder then is retrospective, and a retrospective is a biographical show. So that one, okay, that was good, although we were lucky we had so many checking letters. Let's try 14 down, 9 letters, beginning with P. Expert. Right, okay, let's stop after the word expert. An expert, short synonym for an expert, I would say it's going to be a pro, isn't it? So I'm very hopeful that it's the other side of the clue that's going to be the definition. So expert projections about conclusion of... Oh no, this could be an and lit then. Prognosis or something. Prognoses? Yeah, that's brilliant. Jeepers creepers. Okay, so we need to talk about this. So I said at the start that it almost always, the definition part of a clue is at the start or the end of it. There are 2 main exceptions to that. One of them is what's called a cryptic definition, which will be indicated by the clue having a question mark at the end. But the question mark might mean other things as well. So don't assume, if you see, like looking at this clue, we see the question mark at the end. We might think, oh, it's a cryptic definition. This clue is actually the other exception. This is called an and lit clue. That is the technical name for it. And it's the hardest type of clue to write because it's a clue where the whole clue is a definition of the answer to be entered. And the whole clue is also wordplay, a recipe for how to construct that answer. So if we read the words of the clue and try and think about whether that they are defining the word prognoses, expert projections about conclusion of suffering, that could define prognoses, couldn't it? Absolutely could. But it's also wordplay. Expert is a pro. Projections are noses. And so we put pro and noses around the conclusion, the final letter of the word suffering, which is G, that G there. So it does two things at the same time. It's very, I mean, just pick any word and practice in your own mind. Try and write an and lit clue. You'll find out how hard it is. And yet John just does it easily. 15 down, 9 letters, beginning with I. Common boundary is in fact strewn with trees cut on either side. Common boundary with trees cut on either side. I don't know. I mean, if I'm guessing, I think it's some sort of anagram, maybe involving in fact, because if letters are strewn, they're scattered. So I think, I mean, if I'm guessing, I think this is a 9-letter word, which means common boundary, and I don't know what, I can't think of a synonym that means that. Common boundary. Is, so I think is there probably is doing the duty of an equal sign. These clues are often very mathematical, by the way, so people assume, oh, to be good at cryptic crosswords you must be good at language. I think they're more scientific, actually. In fact, strewn. So that would be 6 of the 9 letters, with trees cut on either side. Well, the word trees, if you cut it on both its sides, you would remove the T and the S. That would give you R-E-E. So maybe it's an anagram of in fact R-E-E. Common boundary. In interface? Inter. Yeah, that would work. Interface. Is a common boundary an interface? Might be. It feels like it. Actually, that might be right. In fact, double. Yeah, okay. That feels right. So let's look it up and see if the dictionary supports that interpretation. A surface forming a common boundary. Okay, well there we go. So that deals with any doubt instantly. Oh, what's that? Saint something or so there probably. 2-5-28 across. Exhausted state cops remaining in expression of defiance. Well, an expression of defiance is so there, isn't it? That feels like that's going to be the answer. Yeah, lovely. So if you exhaust something, you sort of, you remove its insides. So the word state, if it's exhausted, you just get left with the S and the E. And that cops, so that then secures, captures, if you like, a word that means remaining, which is other. And that gives us, and that equals, the in is doing the duty of equals there, an expression of defiance. So there, I mean, it's unsolvable unless you have the starting letter. Not unsolvable, but very hard to solve. But we did get it. Let's go back here. I hate leaving like bounded areas of the grid, areas that don't have a common boundary, if you like, or that we can't get back in. We can't interface into this area, can we? Is this Sean? If it was, can I get this red Mexican? Red Mexican river, it can't. Bird passing over. River bird. I don't know what this means. I mean, I think it's much more likely to be a word that means red than red Mexican. Or red Mexico. There can't be any red Mexican rivers. But there could be a red Mexican river bird. That's possible, I suppose. Passing over. If the tip of Yucatan was the Y, the tip of the word, and that Y went here, then this word at 12 across has become very strange. Parentage. I know that doesn't have a Y there. Parentage. That might be your family. Rent for let out. I don't know what that means. Let me put parentage in. Why is that? A boy serving as a page. Yeah, it's brilliant. Right. I should have got this before. So family is parentage. Let out, rent. A, it's not per, but it's just the letter A. It's that letter A. So we put rent A, which a boy serving, and that's a page. It's not a military serving. It's somebody who just serves as like a servant in the house, is a page. Hear the page and stand by me in Good King Wenceslas land. And that's sandwiches are rent and RA. So PAGE is surrounding rent and this A. Now, Rioja. That's got a J in it as well. That's a red wine. That's going to be right. I don't know why. But, okay, right. So this is a Mexican river, which must be a Rio, I think. I think that must be like the Rio Grande. Maybe it's the Spanish word for river, actually. It could be. And then the bird is the J, which has passed over. So we're having the word J without the Y, which is the tip of the word Yucatan. That is really hard, and that is going to be Sean then. And that means I'm going to look up horn to see whether it says it's an outgrowth. Oh, see, immediately a hard outgrowth. Either of a pair of outgrowths supposed to spring from a cuckold's forehead. What? Where's the thing about nuts then? Hang on, let me go back to it. So, small outgrowth of. That's so good. That's so good. Right, I would have given that a question mark. That's outrageous. So it's not talking about nuts like pistachio nuts. A euphemism, if you refer to, he got nutted by somebody, what would that mean? It would mean they'd headbutted you. They'd use their nut. So a nut is your head, and an outgrowth on your head would be a horn. That's how it works. Oh dear. Okay, so I was dumb again. But we've done the top of the grid now. And very fortunately we haven't got the bounded area without the interface, so that's good. Now let's go for this one then. 17 across. which is 13 letters. E.g., I help to sort snakes. That can't be. Well, it is, isn't it? This is another and lit, I think. Oh, no, it is. Yeah, it is 13 letters. So if you look at E.g., I help to sort, that is 13 letters, and those letters are going to snake. So they're going to wind around. They're going to be anagrammed. But that means, you might say, well, that's all recipe, Simon. Where's the definition? Well, the definition is going to be the whole thing. So e.g., I help to sort snakes is going to be an ologist of some sort who is is it serpentologist then? No, I've not used an H in that. Oh, goodness, I'm going to have to actually work out what letters I've got left. We've definitely got E, haven't we? We've got E, H, P, T. Is it herpetologist? Herpetologist? I'm not sure. Might be. I think I've vaguely heard of that. I'll put. I can't look that up because I'm not sure it's right. I'm sure that ologist is right, so I'm going to use 19 down, which is 7 letters. Settle hours before long cases. Settle hours before long cases. Again, I don't know what this is, but I can see that it's far more likely that the word cases here is part of a recipe, because if a word cases another one, it would surround it, wouldn't it? So that, if that's correct, that suggests the start of the clue is the definition. Now the word settle, I wonder if it could be inhabit. If you settle somewhere, you might inhabit it. Yeah, that's lovely. Yeah, so hours can be abbreviated to H. Let's show you that. It definitely can be. Hour is actually listed in the singular, but it is accepted as a plural abbreviation as well. And then before long is in a bit. Let's do this in a bit. Means we'll do this before long. So in a bit. Cases, the H, to give inhabit, which means to settle. Now, 24 across, 5 letters beginning with H. Amateur guards respecting women-only space. Well, harem, I would have thought. Yeah, harem is right. That's a women-only space. And then an amateur, if you're in, you're a ham, H-A-M, you're sort of somebody who's, you might have heard of radio ham, like it's an amateur radio enthusiast. So we'll look up ham in a moment, but it's ham for amateur, guarding, so surrounding, an abbreviation that means respecting, and that's re. If something is, you might see that on a memo in an office, if it's to give the subject, so it's as regards this subject, re this subject. So let's look up harem. Let's look up ham. Oh, why? Oh, look, it did my double M. An amateur, especially an amateur radio operator. There it is. So then harem, a women's quarters. So harem is going to be right there. Now 20 down, 6 letters. Muck carried by spades for one turning over soil. I can do one quickly for once. I mean, we're very fortunate. This M is hugely powerful here, because muck carried. made me immediately think, oh, I need a short synonym for muck that's going to be carried by some other word. Can I think of a short synonym for muck? Yeah, I thought of the word mud. And now I only know one word that fits this pattern, and it's smudge. So all I have to do is to sort of retrofit it to the clue. So mud is carried by spades for one. Well, spades from bridge scoring can be abbreviated to S. Hearts can be H, clubs can be C, diamonds D, etc. So spades is S. For one is, for example, EG. And EG's turned over. So we've got mud carried by S and a reversal of EG to give smudge. And if you soil something, you smudge it. Now, dashboard would fit here. Console looks good, doesn't it? 9 letters. Console, dull, love fill. Look at the way console's used in the clue. So obviously, a console, like a PlayStation or something, is very much doing the duty of a noun. But the way John uses it is to console the dull, love-filled husband unhappy on retirement. To impart pity upon him. But I mean, dashboard's going to be right. I don't know why yet, but we'll work it out. So dashboard, dull, unhappy must be drab, is it? I don't know actually. Oh, okay. Sad. There's a lot going on here actually. So the way this works is drab H sad is being reversed around O. O being indicating love filled. O is defined in the dictionary as a word meaning anything round or nearly so. And love, a love score in tennis is 0. So love and O are synonymous in Cryptic Crossword world. So let me just think. Console, dull. Yeah, so I think how it works is dull is drab. That's love-filled. So we put O in the middle of drab. H is husband. Unhappy is sad. And then that whole thing is treated on retirement. It's reversed to give dashboard the console. And now we've really only got a quarter of the puzzle to do. We'll go for 23 down. 5 letters. A claim bit of land. This country's given up. A claim bit of land. This country's given up. Could be a bit of a political clue at the moment, but I don't think it is. A claim bit of land. This country's given up. Okay. Yeah, I've got it. So what we're looking at here, I don't really know how to explain how I've got this. I got this by thinking of, well, this country, the country that I'm recording this in, is the UK. So I wondered whether UK could form any part of the clue, and that gave it to me. Because once you start looking at that D in the middle and thinking about U and K in a word, I thought of the word kudos. And that's certainly, if you give kudos to someone, that you claim them, don't you? And that, how does it work? Well, a bit of land is sod, as in, isn't sod used in Good King Wenceslas as well? I'm not sure, but sod is obviously turf, which is a bit of land. This country, UK, and that's all given up. It's reversed. It's a down clue, so giving something up in a down clue is reversing it. And we get kudos, we get a K for our pangram, and we might have a better chance at 21 across now. 9 letters. Well bores set up on windy bluff again. Well bores set up on windy bluff. Windy could be windy. Bluff. Well, if you're well, from a health perspective, you're okay, aren't you? You see, set up on... I haven't got this, but imagine that this was what you treat set up on in a windy way, and then okay, board, that anagram of set up on. That would work from a recipe perspective. I just can't think of whether it's actually a possible answer. And that whole thing means bluff. A bluff is something token? I really like that as a thought. You know, I just love the way it would work. Well bores set up on windy bluff could be read as well bores set up on windy bluff. Yeah. Bluff, is that something outspoken? Are you bluff? If you're bluff, are you out? You might be. If you treat somebody in a bluff way. I like that. I think that's going to be right. Outspoken. Now let me just check. So set up on. That's right, isn't it? It must be that. Okay, so I'm not going to change that, but I am going to look it up. Bluff, I think, is synonymous with outspoken. Ooh. To deceive. It's not a show of self-confidence. Bluffing act. An outspoken act. I think it's fine, isn't it? I think to be outspoken can be to be bluff, to be outspoken, speaking frankly, without circumlocution. I think a show of confidence is the sense in which it's met. If you're outspoken, you're certainly showing confidence. So let's have a look at 16 down. 5-3, again hyphenated. Drive away could be shoe. Now we've got those letters. Shootout. A string of penalties. It's definitely a shootout. Drive away shoe with traffic. With traffic tickets and string of... it must be a shootout. Why a drive away shoe with traffic tickets? Why is that tout? Oh no, that's so clever. Oh my goodness. This is why he should get paid the big bucks. Honestly, because oh God, that is so good. That is one of the clues of the year, and we're only in January. Drive away with traffic tickets and string of penalties. Because I can see the word tout. I know a tout. I think of tout, I think of solicitor. But with traffic tickets, I couldn't see it. But if you traffic tickets, if you're somebody who engages in buying and selling of tickets, you tout. So shoe, with a word that means traffic tickets, as in to deal in tickets. That is beautiful. Drive away with traffic tickets and string of penalties. Oh, I love that. Shootout. That is brilliant. Right, now we've got a good chance now because we've got all the starting letters. So 25. Herpetologist is probably right. Hertopologist. No. Let's check 18 down. The problem is, if it is hertopologist, I'm going to get it wrong, because the E will be justified anyway. 7 letters. Pay for expense, maybe, or pay for current foreign-based stocks with euros. Pay for current foreign-based stocks with euros. I don't know. But how can I not know? How can I not even know how to read this properly? I've got E blank P in a 7-letter word. Pay for current foreign-based stocks. With euros. Euros is going to be E. But if something stocks something, what's with doing in there? I don't know. I don't know what that is at all. I'm going to go back to 25 across 5 letters. English dons returned unopened a Mark's work. English dons returned unopened. A Mark's work. What's that? Something like a work by Karl Marx or a work by the Marx brothers? And how does the recipe work? I mean, English can be abbreviated to E. And then dons, if you don clothing, you put them on. So it feels like E is going to don, it's going to be inside, it's going to be clothed in. A word for... I don't know, returned unopened. Does that mean a word that means returned and it doesn't have its first letter? Or does it mean a word for unopened which has been returned and reversed? I don't know. I don't know that one either. There's too much going on in that. Let's try 22 down. Drain last of ale from hammered pewter mug. That's doable. I mean, it's just read the clue. Drain last of ale from hammered pewter mug. It's beautifully written, but I do understand this one at least. So we have to drain, we have to remove the last of ale. That's not saying the last bit of beer, it's saying the last letter of the word ale, which is E, from hammered pewter. Well, hammered is being used as an anagram indicator. If something's hammered, it's drunk, so it's all over the place. So pewter is anagrammed without that last letter of ale. And can we do that and create a word that means mug? Well, we can create twerp, so that's good. Now, unfortunately, that gives me an E in 25 across, which I was very suspicious was there anyway. It's not opera or something, is it? Let me just put that in. Why would that be a Mark's work? English dons returned unopened. I don't know. I don't see why it's that, so I'm not going to put it in. Let's go for this one. 7 letters, 27 across. Half undressed, shy about large exercise clothes. Well, if you're half undressed, you're topless, aren't you? So that feels right. Shy about large exercise clothes. Half undressed, shy about large. I mean, again, the surface is unbelievable. toss. I mean, the way this is put together, it's total genius. It is total genius. I know that there are some expert cryptic crossword writers, people who are published in all the national papers who watch these videos. Please do drop a comment and tell me I'm not mad, am I? This sort of clue writing, it is genius. So half undressed is topless. If you have a coconut shy, you throw. So a word that's synonymous with shy is toss, T-O-S-S, and that goes about large, which we looked at earlier. We won't find it in the dictionary, but it can be abbreviated to L. Exercise clothes. Exercise is physical education, PE. It comes up a lot, so don't be too surprised at seeing that one again at some point. So L has PE clothing it, and that all goes inside the word shy, a word for shy, which is toss, to give topless. But then the surface, half undressed, shy about large exercise clothes. It's just brilliant. It really is. And now I've got this, pay for current foreign-based stocks with euros. Okay, well, with euros is probably the E at the end then. So pay for. If you pay for something, you are found guilty of it. It can't be expense, I don't think. I'm just going to put that in and see if I can understand it. Pay for current foreign-based. Is that New York Stock Exchange? Do I need an X for my pangram? I do need an X for my pangram, so it probably is X there. Probably can't put X in this one. Although marks. Odeon? No, just focus on what you're doing, Simon. Pay. I pay for. I expense. Yeah, that's probably synonymous. Current. Foreign-based stocks. I wonder if that is. No, isn't it? No. It's meant to be New York Stock Exchange, NYSE. It's not NSE. Oh, pens. A pen stocks, as in. Yeah. A stock, I think, in the sense of animals, is a pen. So stocks with euros is pens with E. So current. What's this? What's this EX for current foreign based? Stocks. Pay for. I think stocks and pens. I really like that. Pens with euros, so with E at the end. Pay for. Current foreign based. X. Well, I mean, just wondering if the definition isn't pay or pay for. Maybe it's pay for current. That can't be right. And foreign based, if you're expat, you're an expatriate, so maybe that's the sense in which maybe X can mean foreign based now, EX. And that would mean that the definition is pay for current. That's my best guess, is that this is expense. I'm not going to change it, but I am going to look up whether X can just mean foreign based. Doesn't look good, does it? Outside, formerly employed by. A whole load of abbreviations. It's not, I'm not quite, I think I'm not getting that one, in terms of I'm not understanding it, rather than, I think it's probably right. And now if it is right, I mean, I can only think of Odeon for this one. English. Don's returned, unopened, A. Mark's work. What? Okay, well, let's put Odeon in. Why would it be Odeon? English would be E. Don's returned, unopened. No. English has donned, so it's inside. A word for returned without its first letter. So blank OD blank ON, which has got to mean returned. Don't like that either. Maybe expense is wrong. What else could this be? And why have we got A in it? A Mark's work. Oh dear. Ocean would fit. I don't think it's ocean. I don't want to get this wrong. I don't want to do a disservice to this puzzle. I want to let me think about this for a second. A Mark's work. Yeah, I hope it's not a film by the Marx Brothers. I'm not going to know it. R here? Oh, no. I definitely don't want that many R's. That was a lot of R's. X, ox. Don't think so. Oh, it's not going to be to do with my pangram, is it? Have we had all the unusual letters? I feel like we have. We have had a D. Otherwise, I was thinking that would lend credence to this being Odeon for some reason I don't understand. Have we had? No, we've had F, G. We must have had, yeah, we've had H, I. We did have J, didn't we? Yeah, we had that J in Rioja. K, I know we've seen a K, an outspoken. I mean, this is not a very good way to do puzzles, but if you are desperate, it's probably worth just checking. T, I mean, we're getting on to letters that U, V, have we had V? I think we have, yeah. W, I feel like I've typed W at some point, can't remember when. Where's W? Where is W actually? Oh, twerp. Bother. W, X, Y, and Z, or Z. Where's Y? Ratify, and Z we had in there. So we're not going to get any help from the pangram. English dons returned. Unopened. A. Mark's work. A Mark's work. See if it's the name of a book by Karl Marx. Das Kapital? That's got nothing to do with these letters. English dons. Returned unopened. I mean, if you return a letter, you return to sender, don't you? But does that have an abbreviation? English is gonna be this E. It just is. I'll just put Odeon in again. Why is it Odeon? English dons returned unopened. Nodo. A Mark's work. A Mark's work. Oh, I don't know. I'm very worried about this because I don't understand it. I mean, if I knew that, you know, Odeon was a name of a film by the Marx Brothers or something like that, then I would be probably pressing submit, because I may not understand the wordplay quite, or at all even, but I would at least be confident it was correct. English dons. Returned unopened. It's so mean to use returned and unopened, because because of this way it has two meanings. Returned. Bode. Returned. I'm very worried that I've misunderstood that. I mean, the problem is, well, I'm not totally sure about this one. Oh, I tell you what, have I got my anagram wrong with herpetologist? That's possible. I thought there were two E's in it though. E, yeah, there are. Where am I putting those? It's got to be, wow. Well, H and R are definitely right. So we have to have a vowel here, which has to be E, and then we're looking at an anagram of pet. No, I think I've heard of herpetologist. So that E, I feel, is right. Foreign-based stocks, I think, are going to be X pens with euro E, and then pay for current expense. And then I've just got to understand this. But I am very, very concerned that there is another word that isn't Odeon here that would go in. A Mark's work. How long is the video actually? Let me just check. How do I tell? Oh gosh, it's really very long as well. English dons returned unopened. A Mark's work. I don't. Oh, ocean. Could it be? It can't be ocean, can it? Why would it be that? English E again. Don's returned unopened. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to just go for Odeon on the basis that I don't want the video to be much longer than this. Otherwise, it won't. I mean, at the speed my uploads are happening at the moment, it won't actually ever work. Oh, it's totally wrong. Oh, that's appalling. That's unforgivable. So stocks were not pens. Pay for is going to be X. Oh, that's. I was sure about stocks. Oh, that's the worst. That's the worst ever. How could I claim this is a masterclass? It's a moron class. Pay for. Current. Pay for current foreign-based stocks. Pay for. I pay for. I am I've lost my marbles. Expunge or something? No, it can't be N here. This N is wrong, isn't it? Isn't that what it's saying? So this word coming across, a Mark's work. Oh, is it going to be opera then? I bet it's opera. I don't claim to know why. And then this word coming down, expiate? Oh, that's right. Wow, okay. It's expiate, E-X-P-I-A-T-E. That's very difficult. I think that must be a word that means pay for. I don't actually know that. But current is then from Ohm's law, V equals IR, where I is current in that equation. So current is I. Foreign-based is expat. Somebody who is foreign-based would be an expat. And that stocks that I, so that gives an I in the middle of expat, and that all goes with E at the end. So it's expiate, that gives an A at the end of 25 across. And a Marx work. Oh, was there a Marx Brothers film, A Night at the Opera? Was that Marx Brothers? Don't know. Might be. I don't know much about old films. But if A Night at the Opera was a Marx Brothers film, then how does the rest of that work? You've got O blank. You've got the E in the middle of OP. R-A, but maybe the A is the A in the clue. So O-P-R. O-P-R. I wonder if O-P-R is an abbreviation. Because if that was true, no. Or R-P-O. Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Returned op. English Dons returned unopened. I think it's opera. I think it's opera. Expiate. Let's just check expiate. To make atonement for. To pay for. Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. Let's check herpetologist. That's good. Study of reptiles. So that's right. And then opera here, but I don't quite understand it. Still don't quite understand it, but I think it's opera. Wow, that was so hard and so brilliant. Absolutely, what a puzzle that is. What a puzzle. 2 errors, that's going to do for me. Look. Yeah. in the cryptic leaderboard, that is not what you want to see. Anyway, I will have a quick go. Let's see. At the quick cryptic, let's see. Worm. Swimmer, fine as filth, swirls around. Swimmer, that is a something fish, is it? I think it's some sort of fish. I can't see what it is. Period celebrated by mother and son. Mass, maybe. Not sure. Wiggling of toe is flirtatious activity. It's an anagram. Flirtatious activity. Oh, come on, Simon, stop being an idiot. Top grade puzzle. Wow. Why can't I do this? Don't overlook the writer's bloomer. Forget me not. Double M. Forget me not. Is upset about affected scampi. Fail to notice one on purpose. Don't know. Energy from steam. Article on Fielder in Carol Reed film. Oh my goodness, I don't know. Uranian in engine bad for naive is an ingenue. Absurd drama in close match. Don't know. Sheep under tree in hermitage. Ashram, that's quite difficult. Drive round with 0 speed. Oomph. Rook in exotic bush is a shrub. Okay, what's this fish? Is it starfish? No. No, it's not. Oh, is it flatfish? It might be flatfish. No backing with tune being broadcast on air. Entertainer, artiste, it's a hidden. Observe, see, one's left us for dead. Is that a euphemism, maybe? Riddle, good, and it must be enigma. Transfer some money. Don't know. Change, maybe. Manager, organizer, probably. Small boy wanting first to lie down. I don't know. Cathedral must be Minster, probably. Mass with song for a Von Trapp. Maria. Attend to male newspaper boss. Heed. Willing in the morning to empower. Willing. Amicable? No. Willing in the morning to empower. Don't know. This is what is this? Footsie. Oh goodness, that was hard to see for some reason. Top grade puzzle. Wow, amaze. Fail to notice one on purpose. Fail to notice. I can't see it. Ab something. I can't see it. Damn. The article on Fielder, the square leg in Carol Reed film. The third man must have been a Carol Reed film, I suppose. Absurd drama in close match. Is that amenable then? Enable. Gosh, that's clever. So is this some money transfer change? Maybe. Absurd drama in close match. Endgame. A small boy wanting first to lie down. If you're down, you're sad. That's not easy. Is this endgame? I'm not actually sure about that. I mean, endgame was a drama. Okay, so what's abstain? Fail to notice. No, it's not. It's not abstain. Is mass wrong? Period celebrated by mother and son. Fail to notice one on purpose. I'm not sure about mass here. It probably is mass. I just can't see what this down clue is. Fail to notice one on purpose. Fail to notice mission. That's a very, very good clue, and I haven't been helped by getting this wrong, have I? Celebrated by mother and son, period. Celebrate. Oh no, what is this? Period. What? What's going on? Period celebrated by mother and son. What? I'm so sorry. I mean, my brain's clearly gone. It's left the building. Period celebrated by mother and son. This mission is right, isn't it? That failed to. That's right. Purpose is your mission. Period celebrated by mother and son. That's weird. I'm trying to put letters in and I'm failing to see what this is. That's absolutely extraordinary. Period. No, I don't. Oh, it's Xmas. That is so hard. By is X there. Wow. I mean, it's an appalling time. But in fairness, that is tricky. So period celebrated is Xmas, which I just don't think of. I mean, is Xmas in the... I suppose it probably is. Yeah, it is there, isn't it? But by XMAS, that is very, very sneaky indeed. I loved it. Loved it. I just wasn't expecting it in the quick cryptic worm. You naughty worm. Anyway, that's an appalling video. I'm so sorry to those of you hoping to learn anything from this. I completely butchered. And I still don't understand opera, if indeed opera is right, in this one. This puzzle is unbelievable, though. I mean, there are about a dozen or more incredible clues in it. I just wish I was better at solving them. But there we go. I can't really even ask you this, but if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a like. Please do subscribe. We really would appreciate it. It's a very long video again, but there was a lot to talk about today. Yeah, let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.